Another thing I want to touch on is the importance of why it's not good to consume meat. You know, the reason why people like meat today is because of how we could souffle it with the seasoning and stuff like that. It tastes good. But the reality is that the reason why you ain't supposed to consume meat is that it's dealing with the blood. See, your blood is supposed to be pure. You want to maintain purity to your blood. And when you eat animal, what happens is that the traces of the blood of that animal gets into your bloodstream. And now you have contaminated blood cells from this animal flowing through your bloodstream. And then you start taking on the animalistic behavior of what you've been eating. That's why you got to be mindful of what you eat. Because eating that flesh and blood is going to turn you into an animal. Your behavior is going to be more animalistic. You're going to be more contentious. You're going to be more desirable and lustful and addicted. And by eating that flesh and blood, you're creating toxins in your body. See, what happens is that the meat get trapped in the digestive system. See, the small intestine is 30 feet long. It's 30 feet long. And it's a small tube. So when you eat large portions of meat, they got to get broken down and flown through or sent through a 30-foot tube. Now from the beginning of that tube, when the meat enters in, to the ending of the tube, where it's going to come through the large intestines, all that meat is not going to make it. A lot of that meat is going to get trapped along the walls of the small intestines. And what happens then is that the meat that is lingering on the small intestines begin to rot. And when it rot, it produces parasites, maggots. And these parasites feed back on the dead meat. And that's how they grow. They're feeding off the waste that did not get digested in your body. That's why I did the video called The Walking Dead. Because you literally the Walking Dead. If you got parasites eating you from the inside, but you're still alive. That's the zombie apocalypse right there. So look at all the beautiful women out here looking good. But then when you look at what they eating, you like, damn, their insides is filthy. Look good on the outside, but what they eating shows that their inside is filthy. And if their inside is filthy, that means they're gonna carry your odor. And a lot of times they'll cover it up with a lot of makeup to cover the odor. I'm just being real, this is the truth. Because I understand the anatomy of the body. I know how the body works. If you eat dead flesh, it's gonna come out through your pores, you're gonna smell it. Especially if you're in a closed environment in the room, you're gonna smell a person's pores and their odor, and it's gonna be strong. Especially women with their vagina. You see, women's vagina is already acidic. It maintains a pH of 4. So if women are eating, I'm drinking a lot of alcohol, a lot of beer, a lot of soda, a lot of coffee, chicken wings, hot sauce, steak. For female eating all of that, her vagina gonna have an odor. Why? Because she's taking in so much acid that the vagina acidity pH is gonna drop from a 4 to a 3, and then it's gonna start releasing the odor. And you're gonna smell like, damn, what that shit smell? That shit smell like, that shit smells, you know what I'm saying? So if you wanna prevent that from happening, cut out the meat. Cut out the meat. You cut out the meat, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna feel lighter, you ain't gonna have headaches, you ain't gonna feel fatigued and tired. Switch the meat for vegetable meat, veggie meat. They got veggie meat out there that tastes just like meat, but you ain't eating that flesh and blood. So you wanna stay away from meat rotting in your intestines, producing parasites, and you wanna stay away from traces of the blood in that meat uniting with your blood, contaminating your blood. Can you imagine mixing your blood? Would you take a syringe needle and take a chicken and draw blood from that chicken and inject it in your, would you do that? Hell no, you won't do that. But guess what? You're doing that when you eat chicken. Because that chicken got traces of blood. And when it goes through your digestive system, when it reaches the duodenum, where the minerals are absorbed, that's when that blood gonna get in your system. Next thing you know, you got blood infection, you got E. coli. You know what I mean? You got the bird flu and all these crazy diseases from eating flesh and blood. So learn to let go of the flesh and blood. Preserve your body, because it's the only body you got. Know thyself is the key. I just want to touch on that for a second.